Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we have got a bit of unconventional electric vehicles to review in the channel. This is the Mammotion Yuka series with the sweeper kit, and what this does is automatically mows your lawn. You program it, set it, forget it, works through satellite, no perimeter wiring or any kinds needed. It has got advanced security features and Tesla-like autopilot system that can navigate through difficult terrain. It can go through high slopes, and we're going to talk about all about that in the video today. But today's video, what I wanted to do is show you how to set this up and do more of an initial impression, show you the features, and then I'm gonna come back and do a follow-up video in a couple of weeks after I have a chance to thoroughly test this out and do a comparison video with another lawn mowing robot that I reviewed from Mammotion. It was the Mammotion Yuka 2 all-wheel series. They both have different utilities, they serve different customers, but this one, the benefit is this actually sweeps all that mulch that it makes from the grass, or it picks up all the leaves. So coming fall time, if you have a lot of leaves in your yard, it actually sweeps up, picks it up, takes it to a designated dumping area, it dumps it, goes back, does its thing, it mows your lawn, picks up everything, comes back, dumps it, and then when it runs out of charge, it'll dock itself. Again, as I say, program it, set it, forget it. You can ask Alexa to mow your lawn. This thing is super amazing. So let's get started with this video today. Mammotion did send this out free of charge for us to review in our channel today, but they are not paying us, they are not sponsoring the video, 100% our honest opinion. They did tell me that they were having this huge sale in event of the Prime Day. So hopefully I am able to post this video for you if you wanted to check this out. They should be having $600, $700 off on some models. Let's get started. So let's first unbox the robot, and then we're gonna unbox the sweeper kit and go through the setting process. This is what the top layer looks like. This is the base station so that we can charge this unit. This is the charging station. I'll show you how to set that up. They send you the instructions guide. This is the RTK poles here. I've got some accessory kits. So let's unbox all of this. A very minimal installation, honestly, and then I'll show you what this looks like. After you take out all the top accessory there, it just comes in a one giant piece. And this is huge. Here's my hand for reference. This is really big. So let's take this out and I'll show you how to set it up. Okay, so after you take out everything from the box, you can generally characterize this as two different units. So this one is the robot itself, where it comes with all the robot charging. So this big, large thing here is the robot charger, the base plate is the charger. It has got this connection here for the robot to plug it in. It comes with the power brick here to plug it into the wall. It comes with the key, it comes with some hardware to mount some of the components. It gives you this tool here, and then it comes with some of the units like the pins, so you can kind of push this down to the ground and secure it. So that's what the robot unit looks like. And this is the RTK unit. So you have got two poles here. You have got one that mounts on the bottom base easily. You've got the antenna for the RTK. This is the RTK unit itself. And then you have got some wiring for the RTK depending on if you're gonna wall mount this or if you're just going to mount this directly to the robot unit, you have that option as well. So that's all the RTK unit and that's all the robot unit. Now for the RTK, I already have one from the Yuka series and it's exactly the same one. How you install this is this goes on the bottom in the ground. You connect it to this long extension pole there, which is this guy. And then this short pole, if you look at it here, that has the wiring. So the RTK has the wiring. You just pass that, all that wiring through here. So it comes through this slit. You connect the antenna by just threading it in. And that's it, the RTK unit is good to go. It has got this plug in the bottom that we can use to mount with the charging station there. So that's how the RTK unit assembly goes. It's exactly the same thing as the Yuka one. Now, the first thing on the installation process is to install your key. Yours may came pre-installed here, but if it didn't, you just take this little key here and simply push it into this notch there and lock into its place, so the key is installed. Now, after you install the key here, there's not much you need to do. You just have to lift this up and remove this foam that they install so that it does not get damaged during shipping. So there is this white foam here that we need to remove. It just comes out like this. And this is pretty much ready to go. Now we just need to install the charging station in it. Let's quickly look at what this has on the bottom. So these are the blades we saw similar to the Yuka. These are flexible blades. You rotate, it rotates like that and it cuts it. It's got some protection there, and the cutting height adjustment, you can see there's just this one front wheel, and then there are those two very large wheels in the back, and the extra battery we're going to install here for the sweeper kit goes there. I'll show you how to do that here in just a second, but that's what the back side, the bottom looks like. Now we gotta install the charging station. This is fairly straightforward. This is the bottom base. We're going to use some of this hardware to mount this in the ground. Super easy and firm. And then you've got a couple of brackets here. This is slightly different than the Luba because Luba didn't have all of this. It came kind of pre-attached with the unit. But if you just install it like this, you can slide this unit in. So you just slide it here, just make sure that it is aligned properly in the front. Slide it, it clicks into its place. You don't even need screws to hold this, but in case you want to make it stronger, then you've got a couple of screw holes, and they send you the screws that you can use to secure this in place. They even send you the screwdrivers you can use. But yeah, so this is the charging station itself. You have got two inputs here. One is for the charger itself to charge the robot and comes with this power brick. And the other one, this input is for the RTK unit that I showed you earlier. Super straightforward, not much. The Yuka actually charges in the front. So the Yuka is gonna go in and align to this prongs and then place itself in to charge it, unlike the Luba, which had just little two prongs inside here that it would station itself. So that's the slight difference here. But it's pretty much done. We just have to hook it up. So when you first get the unit, you should fully charge it before using it. And to charge that, because we set up the station, you just take that power plug, plug it in, and Yuka has two areas here where this just needs to slide to these two prongs. And once this is slided, you hear that start charging, and then it starts charging. While the Yuka is charging, let's install the sweeper kit and get this ready. Okay, I thought the sweeper kit was a very straightforward thing, but it's a high-tech device and it has got a lot of components. So let's look at them. They send you some of the screwdrivers, some of the hardware, the kit, installation manual. There's the bag itself, there's the top part. They send you the extra battery so that the Yuka has a little bit more battery, and also it powers the Yuka, the sweeper kit there, the handle. This is the counterweight, so you want to put this in the Yuka itself. It's very heavy so that it doesn't tip over, because that kit is gonna be heavy, and if you don't put the counterweight, the Yuka will tip over. It sends you some of the rods that you need to install on that kit there. And this is the sweeper itself. It is powered. Here, if you look at the brush in the bottom, this is going to sweep everything in, and you've got a power input for this that we're going to be installing to the Yuka itself. So let's put this together and connect to the Yuka. So let's start by installing the handle here, and they send you the handle. It has the push button there. You're just going to install it. It kind of fits in really nicely in this area, and if you look at it, just for alignment purposes, these two rods are facing back. The handle should be facing that same way. Then they send you this hex bolts. You're gonna install 4 of them here using the tool they provided. So now that one is secure. Let's move on to installing the rest. Next, we're going to install this top bracket here for this handle, and super easy installation. You just follow this U shape, align it, and then just slide it in. There is a little notch cut out here that this bracket fits really well. So you just align that and then fit the bracket in that opening space. So once that is done, this is good to go. Now, we're actually going to bring this bracket in and then install it here. So just align it. So this one goes here, this one goes here, and we're going to be using this hex nuts that they provided to secure this in place. Once you put all of those screws, this is what it looks like, and you have got yourself a handle on the other side to carry this. So that's the entire assembly for the top. Now we're gonna be installing the bag itself, or at least preparing it to install, and it's a typical like a bag process that we have seen in other lawnmowers in the past. This, the top needs to be facing inward. So if you align it like this, this side needs to face inward, and you just start with the bottom part. You just slide this in. It's a very common process with other bags in the lawnmowers, and you just slide this in. This secures it. Now we're going to do the side ones here. Again, same process. We're just going to simply slide this in and secure this in place. And we're gonna do the other side, then we're almost done. This will stand up on its own once we secure that in. So this is how it goes. Here, there are the two ends that are facing inward, and the bag is kind of standing up on its own. Now we need to install that with the top lid. Next, we're going to grab this lid and simply secure it through here towards the end, and it grabs into its place. So there is a notch. We just gotta find it like that, and then do the same thing on the other side. So it finds that notch inside and then secures in its place. This is what it looks like when this is all tucked in. That's the end, and that's what that looks like there. Now we just have to fold this. So when you fold it, then now we gotta start tucking this end into here. So it nicely tucks in. So just make your round here, tucking this end into this notch, and that's it. This bag installation will be complete after that. Now, since we already installed this handle, all we have left to do is bring this baggie in, and you see right here, there's that little opening. You align that, and you slide this in, and that's it. Now, in order for the sweeper kit to function well and have a little bit more battery, they also sell an extra battery combo for this unit. If you buy a sweeper kit, it comes with the extra battery. This is the extra battery, and this is where we're going to install it. So take the same screwdriver that they sent with the kit and remove the 6 screws from the top and the bottom. So once you remove this top bracket, this is what the inside looks like, and it's pre-wired for you to be able to install that extra battery on all Yukas. So you just take this white plug, plug it into the white plug. You're going to find a red plug here that is open. There's one red plug that is already connected to the existing battery. There's another red plug, the black plug, that is empty. We're just going to find that and simply plug this in. Make sure this locks into its place so that this battery is fully secured. And once that is the case, now you'll see a green light here. So now we can just go ahead and install this battery exactly like how this other battery is installed. There is the screws on the top and bottom. We just have to slide this in. You have to do some wire management, so the wire is out of the way, but this is how you install this. Now I'm gonna have to organize this wire so that they are out of the way here, so I can slide this battery in easily and nicely, just perhaps like this, to match with the other battery. For me, I was trying to match it so that both of these would go on the bottom, but looks like the wiring for the second battery needs to go on the top so that it fits. So both of these are kind of facing each other in this manner. Now we just have to tuck these wires in. Just make sure that you don't bend it too much so they don't have any issues, but there's plenty of space to hide this around and put the cover plate back in. Now after you install the second battery, this literally just slides in here. So find that area, slide this in, and it clicks into its place. That's it. You're going to unplug this by just pushing, unplugging this, and then opening this tab here. And we're just going to simply align this notch and push it in. There you go. The sweeper kit is now fully installed. We are ready to roll. This thing is huge. I mean, look at that. That becomes a huge lawnmower. Now, one final thing for this with the sweeper kit is the counterweight. Now, what happens is if it collects enough of the grass and the leaves, the weight over here could become imbalanced, and heavier the weight, this could push the luba. You see, that is an issue. So for the weight management, they send us a counterweight that we're gonna put here, so the luba becomes heavier. And all you have to do is remove this white part, and we're just going to simply slide this in here, and we're gonna secure a couple of bolts to make this heavier. So now, if you look at it, I'm applying the pressure, and it takes quite a bit of force to lift this versus with just that plastic tab there. Now on the top here, of course, there is that stop button for emergency stopping. You have the same sections here like the bring home, power, begin to mow, start. It has got all of that here. This is the battery indicator. It's like the Luba. This is new. We didn't see that in Luba. This is the grass cutting height and gives you the directions here. But basically, if you push this and you adjust it, it adjusted the cutting height of the grass, and the bottom plate that we saw, almost like the suspension plate, this one moves accordingly when you adjust this to get you that fine result. And they have a sticker that tells you what all of those is, home button, start, everything. They give you a satellite here, don't cover this, we're not covering it for the RTK, and that's it. Now let's plug this in, charge it, and then start mowing. So now the process is pretty much like the Luba that we did, where the power is coming from the wall, and then it has got a splitter here, one going straight to the unit for the Yuka, and then the other one is connected to the RTK unit. And as you can see, this RTK unit is pretty light. You can push this down further if you're going to do more of a permanent install. You can also buy a RTK that goes on the area like in your ceiling or somewhere, where just make sure that it can see the open sky, and the indicator would be right here in the green. No flashing, no nothing. It's a steady green that shows that this is getting the satellite signal. Process is pretty straightforward. If you look at the app here, this is what you see in the app. The Yuka is there. We see 99% battery. The POS is the RTK station is good to go. The Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, everything is super strong. Now we are ready to begin. And the first thing we need to do is create the map for this Yuka to do a perimeter. So we're gonna do a walk with the app, just walking the Yuka all around, creating that fencing, like invisible satellite fencing. And for that, we just have to create a map here, and we can start creating the map. So super simple. It says understand, and right here, we'll just say create a map. And when you do create a map, you'll say area, and then it gives you how to do that. This was exactly the same thing as Luba. And then now from here, robot reads the parameter, click to create. We can use this joystick to move it. So it says click here to leave, and we see the Luba or Yuka moving out of the way. And now it's going to go to certain locations. So now it's gonna stop right there. Now, what I'm gonna do is just use the joystick, the digital joystick here, to move the Yuka around to create that parameter. So now, right there, I can turn, and that's what I'm gonna do, create that whole perimeter by walking the Yuka all around where I want it. Now we have created the task area for it to do the lawn. We still need the dumping area. So this is where we're going to create the dumping area. If you look at this screen, the task area is green. Now we have brought the robot over there in the edge. You hit create, do dumping area. We can move this robot just a slightly little bit. We can do that, bring it to the edge, hit create. And when we hit create, it will show dumping spot. And we'll just do finish. It's a dumping spot saved successfully. We finish that, and that is going to be the dumping spot now. So now we can create the task so we can start mowing. So now we have created the dumping spot, and we're going to hook up this to the back. Just wanted to show you again, this is the sweeper kit. So as it cuts, this is just going to sweep everything into this bag here. And that's how the operation works. Let's go ahead and put this in. Now we can go ahead and mow. So we hit mow, it gives us all of that, remove wires, toys, everything. Don't show this again, got it. Now we can set the parameters. So once only, mow, sweeping interval, how much. So dumping interval, I'm gonna make this 10 meters square to see once, but you can also do like 20. It doesn't really matter how much. I'm gonna do 10 here just to see how it does, so I can record and show you guys. Task speed, you can increase the speed, decrease the speed. You can do the pattern there, zigzag or cross or any of this. Path spacing, we'll just make that 20 centimeter. Less touch, direct touch. You can go through any of the settings. No-go, we don't have no-go zones created. Perimeter first, we're gonna do that instead of zigzag first. Relative angle, absolute angle, it shows all of that area. And we are good to go. So we'll just start it. It says it'll take about an hour to do this whole thing. Start. Zigzag first for sweeping to increase efficiency. So let's do the zigzag first then. It says so that it increases the efficiency. It's checking. Now.
Start working.
Starting to work. Here it goes. Let's see how well it works. Here it goes. It is mowing the lawn. It's gonna start with the zigzag pattern first, and then it is going to do the perimeter. So starting with the zigzag pattern, and I already see that it is mowing the lawn, which is great. And let me see if I can see the bottom of it. Look at that. It already deposited into the bag. The sweeper kit is working really well. Let me show you inside there. The bag already has grass. And I have long grass, so this probably needs to go dump a lot more. There you go. This is crazy. Yeah, there's quite a bit of grass in there already. Look at that. That bottom brush is sweeping everything that it cuts and puts it into the bag. And by the way, while this is going, you can actually see the progress live in your app, and you can also do a first-person view camera to see where the robot is, as well as the front camera will be visible. Looks like this is headed to dump. So this will be interesting. I don't know what to expect from the dumping behavior. So this is definitely headed to dump. Looks like it has got quite a bit. And we'll see what it does when it gets there. It's definitely headed on the right direction. I think we set it somewhere right there. Oh, maybe I have missed it. Should have made this dump. Oh my God, no way. It even shakes to get all the grass out. And then it goes back. It collected all of this. I should have made the dumping spot somewhere here, but it is going back now to mow the lawn. And looks like when it goes back, it starts from exactly where it left off to go dump. This thing is crazy good. Super smart. It's collecting a lot of leaves already. I don't know if the camera can see this. So leaf sweeping, all of that leaf is going to be easy because it puts it right there in the bag. It is coming to dump on that site right there. It had already dumped some. It rotates, lifts. There you go. Drops all that stuff. Shakes to get everything. And then it goes back to mow the lawn again. This thing is insane. So as it is making its way for the third dump so far, I realized that you probably want to make that frequency a little bit farther apart because I don't know if you can see from there, it's not filled. It still has a lot of capacity. So I may edit this mow and make it so that it doesn't dump as much. Right there, it's just wild to me. One thing I realized is that, you see the issue? It bumps into the obstacle, the dump area, and as the dumping site grows, I think it gets a little overcrowded, and even shaking, it may not get everything just because the dumping site is just there. I wish it allowed us so that the dumping site would increase a little bit further and further and further out. So first dump would be kind of at the edge, second dump would be a little bit further. I think they need to space that into the programming. Otherwise, this may become an issue at the dumping site grows. There are all those leaves in front of it. Let's do a test. Yeah, it got that. It just left some at the edge, but generally got all those leaves. Creates really nice lines and patterns like a professionally cut grass. So it does the job really well. So it has been a couple of passes and you can clearly see the result here. What it did. This thing is pretty good. So I get that this is a slow process, right? The robot doesn't move very fast. I have it in the fastest speed and this is how it is moving right now. But the idea is you're not mowing or picking up all those leaves. The robot is doing that job for you. And it's just a pretty excellent job at mowing the lawn as well as picking up the leaf and sweeping it. So idea is that you just set it, forget it, ask Alexa to mow the lawn. This is a very programmable thing and you're not doing the heavy lifting. The robot is doing it. Yes, it is doing it very slow. But again, like you don't have to babysit it all the time if you can trust the neighborhood or, you know, you put an air tag and follow some of those protocols. This is pretty safe and you just let this do it. This is great for when you need to go on a vacation and let your lawnmower do the lawn, especially in your backyard. If you have a fencing, then you could be pretty safe there. So, yep, the idea is that yes, it is slow, takes time, but you're not doing it, the robot is doing it. Here's the progress so far. As you can see, it hasn't done that corner yet. It's going to right now, but yeah, it looks much better than what we started with here. So this is what my front yard looks like now. There's still leaves there. It hasn't made the passes on the perimeter. Some of the leaves kind of blew in after it had already made the pass, but did an excellent job. So it has completed the job, and here is all the grass and leaves it collected. As you can see, it collected a lot of leaves. Made a little bit of a mess here because it was kind of twisting and turning there, but hey, I'll take that. And if we look at it here in the yard, it picked up a decent amount of leaves. There are some still got blown away by wind after it had already made the pass, but I think that is a success. If you look through there, my yard had a lot of leaves there. And where did all those leaves go? It collected and put it right here. So this does a really good job. It is going to find that base station to recharge. It is positioning itself, kind of doing it in one shot. Like it needs to make it through those two prongs there in the front and positioning itself. That's pretty precise.
Start charging.
There you go. I started charging. Now let's test its obstacle avoidance capabilities. So we're gonna put this bucket right here. Yep. It is turning around, avoided that, and then it continues its path again. But this time, if it tried to avoid, I'm gonna put my foot here. And I'm gonna go over there, and I'm going to block it again. I'm going to keep blocking it. It doesn't hit me. It doesn't hit that. Now it's like, okay, I gotta really go wide. So it is coming around. I'm not gonna give it a break. Look at that. It is super good that it stops right away. Like, It's going around because I'm literally blocking it from all directions. And it's trying to figure it out. Wow, look at that. It's like I escaped and it arrived. I'm gonna give it a break. That was amazing. Now, if you're wondering, can this thing be stolen? You just leave it in your yard, somebody comes and picks it up. Technically, yeah, anything could be stolen with determined thieves, but this does have a couple of security features. First of all, if you were to pick this up from the ground,
Yuka suspended in air.
it says Yuka suspended in air.
Yuka rollover.
Yuka rollover. It gives that alert right away, and I get that alert on my phone. So like, I know that this is suspended and it's beeping. Then there is that security feature that it tells you that it has been lifted, and the lift trigger comes as a notification. If this goes out of geofence area, meaning around your house, it'll also alert you, it'll also beep. So there's a couple of security features. But the most important thing about this is, even if they steal it, this is going to be useless for them, right? Because this Yuka, once you download the app and register to yourself, it doesn't work for anybody else. Nobody can download the app again and get it to work unless you unbind this thing from your app or you give access to that person. So even if they just take it, it's gonna be useless for them. They're not gonna be able to use it, but not everybody knows that. So what I would recommend is getting an AirTag and just putting it kind of hidden somewhere so that if somebody does pick this up and take it, you can track it real time where this is going and be able to track that and go to that person and confront them, report to the authorities, let them know that this was stolen, because it is no chump change. You want to protect it at all costs. It does come with a couple of those security features, but again, just to be on an absolute safe side, I would hide an AirTag somewhere there. All right, so while the Yuka is resting, getting some juice, let's talk about my initial impression of this thing. It is amazing. I love how futuristic this is. And well, being able to collect the leaves is one thing and grass, but be able to dump it on a designated dumping site automatically, hands-free, it is amazing. It blows my mind. I know that robotic lawnmowers are not a new thing. They have been around, but Mammotion just took this to the next level. And having that sweeper kit, this is the world's first sweeper kit, they claim, and it's just amazing, right? Like what it does, help you tremendously during the fall time when there are a lot of leaves from the trees, be able to just pick up all the grass that it cuts and leaves, and then be able to have a designated dumping site. It's just amazing what it does. It's very quiet, looks really awesome. It is sizable, it's really big, and it charges well. It does all of its thing autonomously. It avoids the obstacle as I showed you earlier. So does a really good job. Just a couple of those things, I'm gonna bring it up to Mammotion. As I said, maybe having that incremental spacing on the dumping site. They do say that there are multiple dumping sites available. So I'm gonna test that out for my next video to see if I put 2 or 3 dumping sites and then see if it just goes to the closest one. I have a few of those questions myself, so I am gonna be able to answer that in my next video. I'm gonna do a detailed video comparing this with the Luba and my experience and how this handles my next couple of weeks of grass cutting. I'm gonna schedule this to cut my lawn for every couple of days, and then I'm gonna share some footages and let you know how it goes. But my initial impression, I am amazed. This thing is just insane. I love it. What do you all think of this Mammotion Yuka with the sweeper kit that collects and dumps the grass and leaves for you? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you found today's video helpful, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back again soon for another similar video.